So are you seeing what the MC 150? So what we're doing is setting up with the FMCSA to be a carrier trucking company, an entity all on its own with its own DOT number, very own MC number. Okay. Now this process is much harder than it appears. Let me get in. I don't want to enter here because then that's going to cause a problem. This is a very difficult process when you're trying to do everything and do it right. And when you're trying to do it yourself and not hire all these external people to do it for you. It gets a little different at that point. So the first thing we have come to learn, and we highlighted a little bit about this earlier in the week, is the BOC3. The first thing that's got to be on file is the BOC3, which is in essence, it's listed with the FMCSA, and it lists the agents that you have in each and every city. So the BOC3 basically says that you have to have a registered agent in each and every city, just in case, not city, state, that you are actually crossing or doing business in, just in case there's an accident, just in case someone needs to serve you with some type of legal notice. Then they have a registered agent on file that is a representative of yours and says, yes, you can serve me legal notices here for this particular trucking company. And then the next thing, Mary, is what? We got the BOC3. The next thing is the what? The insurance certificate? No, that's a 2290. We're not worried about that right now. The Unified Carrier Registrations. Yeah. Okay. How much is that? It's $59 for your UCR, and it's $59 for 1 to 2 units or 1 unit. 1 to 2 units, so it's $59. And then the IFTA, which is your International Fuel Tax Agreement. That rascal there is a little tedious to have to deal with. But right now, what we're trying to focus on is the insurance certificate, because we're kind of wondering about something. We're wondering if you decide to downgrade in your classification, if you're going under 55,000 pounds, would it make it a difference in your insurance premium and in the insurance amount that the FMCSA is saying that you're required to have? Like right now, the FMCSA, due to our classification, is requiring us to have $750,000 worth of general liability. Okay. So what my question was, what I was wondering is if you're only doing hot shot loads and you're under that 55,000 pound weight criteria, does the FMCSA require that you have less coverage? And see, I don't know everything, so some things I have to look up, especially things that does not have to do with something that I deal with on a daily basis. So that's what we have been playing around with because my partner, Q Ellick, wants this truck up and running as soon as possible. So it puts me under the gun to try to figure out a way and to find a way. But where there is a will, there is a way. Okay. So we're looking and exploring all our different options. And plus, guys, also we have put out an ad for drivers, for hotshot drivers, CDL and non CDL drivers. So if you're interested in getting into logistics and you don't have a CDL, first thing, we're a registered ELDT provider with the FMCSA, so we can help you get your CDL. That's not an issue. And if you come on board with us, even though you don't have your CDL, you can start driving and we will help you get your CDL. As we're a registered provider, we can do that. And then once you have your CDL, you can move up into a different class of driving, of equipment. You can go from uh, the 26,000 pound criteria, because that's the most you, if you're a non-CDL driver, that's the most, that's your GVW. Okay, 26,000 pounds. So that's kind of lightweight, but if you don't have a CDL, it still helps you make pretty good money. You can run, you can pull cars, couple cars. You can pull, we call them hot shot loads, light cargo, maybe weighing 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 pounds, something like that. And you can still make pretty good money because I was looking at some of the loads for that, right? So let's take a look at some loads. Let's see what we're working with, guys. Uh, let's see here. Let's look at a few of these loads. Let's see what's out there. I'm primarily trying to see what I can get for one of my dry van, see how we can keep one of our dry van drivers moving on a consistent basis with good paying freight out there. That's the most important thing. Consistency. Um, a lot of people will tell you don't take cheap freight, right? But they don't tell you how to not take cheap freight. Ain't that right, Mary? Just say yes. Thank you. All right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that answer even better. So let's take a look at a few of the loads, guys. We use different load boards. I don't mind sharing with you what we do at all. There's no shame in my game, and there is no, we're very transparent at Ellick. Okay. So let me try to share my screen with you. And we use multiple load boards. That's the thing. We use up to 10. We have 10 different load boards we use. And we use that for a reason. So we can cross compare. Because some brokers play that okie doke game where they will put a load up on different load boards. And you'll be amazed at some of the games the brokers play in that regard. Some brokers think that some brokers think that the drivers are not the most smartest individuals in the world. Let's see here. And guys, that voice you hear, that's DJ. DJ is he's the operations manager here at Ellick. So anyway, I told you I was going to let you look at a few of the load boards. Okay, we use 10 load boards, and we use like the premium package on all the load boards because we try to cross compare the loads. And it's difficult at times finding good loads for our drivers. So we have to try to take advantage of every little way we can. And it's costly. It costs us a lot of money to do that. But hey, It's what we have to do to try to find our drivers the best loads. Okay. So I want you guys to take a look at this. All right. I hope you can see it as best you can. It's some of our agents going on lunch break. Anyway, let's take a look here and see what we got. Let's take a looky. Okay, we got a load that's just put on the board. It's coming out of Macon, Georgia. It's going to Lithia Springs. It's a dry van load. It's 44,000 pounds. That means it's heavy as hell. But it's at $4.50 a mile. Okay, it is going 100 miles. Let's see what's the catch to this load, because that just sounds too good to be true. So let's see what the catch is to this load. So let's go to load details. First of all, I want to know who the broker is. The broker is Steamboat Transportation Group, and it's paper. Okay, some people, that's why it's heavy. That explains why it's heavy. Usually, if you're pulling paper products, you're going to be heavy as hell. Like in my hometown, we have a place not too far from us called Cedar Springs, and you get the actual paper rolls that come off of there. And sometimes that stuff is all the time. It's heavy as hell. Okay. So anytime you see a paper product load, you can expect to be heavy. Okay. It's 44,000 pounds. It's $4.50 a mile. It's only going 100 miles. It picks up on the 7th, delivers on the 7th. So that's not bad, but you got to call and see if there's appointment times. If it's first come, first served, that's even better. And if it's an open window on the delivery, that's even better. So this company has 4 additional matches for this exact search. See, I like load boards that give you as much information as possible. And this particular load board just does just that. So it says this company has 4 additional matches that are similar to this. So let's see what it's talking about. Okay. So we got, okay, there's the Macon to Lithia Springs, and then there's the Adairsville to Aurelia. $2.12 a mile. Pay rate is $2,000. It's going 943 miles. It's heavy as hell. So we would have to do the fuel on that. There's one picking up in Warner Robins going to Mooresville, North Carolina. It's at $2.14 a mile. So usually, guys, when you see the loads, the way it plays out sometime, when you see the loads with the less miles or the least amount of miles, sometimes that's where the higher pay rate is per mile. But you have to really do your investigation on that load. And when you call the broker, you got to ask questions, man. So first of all, you got to try to figure out how long you're going to have to sit on that load, if it's an appointment time or if it's an open window. And see, there again, I like load boards that try to give you as much information as possible. And this particular load board gives you the profit, the posted rate. It gives you your fuel costs and your other costs and your gross profit. So I kind of like this load board a little bit. Let's see. It even breaks down variables that I don't necessarily need, but hey, if they can give you some idea of maybe where you're at. And see, this is the difference now that we're in this. See, what's going on in the US now is there's a lot of distractions. They're picking on people that can't read and write. And that's all with a purpose. That's just to distract you from what's really going on. These rates are getting ready to go into the toilet. Okay. Trucking companies are shutting their doors right and left. So in order to distract you from what's really going on, hey, I got an idea. Let's put people out of service because they can't speak and read and write English. From a law that's been on the books for forever. Okay. But now we're going to enforce it because now we need to distract people. And now we got a segment of people that are so tunnel focused. I wanted to use another adjective, but I'll be polite. We got another group of people that are so tunnel focused on minor issues that at the end of the day has no impact or very little impact. And so they'll get carried away with that and they'll forget all about what's really going on in the industry. Just watch and see. And sure enough, they did it and it's working. Everybody's so happy now, but all these trucking companies are closing their doors, but everybody's so happy. Now, what I've come to realize and come to figure out from doing a little bit of research is how these trucking companies are staying in business. Okay. So let's try to figure that out. Let's try to figure out how the bigger trucking companies, with all that's going on, it seems like they should be impacted the most and they should be the ones that are closing their doors first. How are they managing to stay open? Well, what they're doing is they're following the recipes that is on the load board. Okay. They are taking a look at their operating costs. That's what they're doing. They're taking a good hard look at how much money they have going out the door in operation costs. In operating costs. So what I mean by that is how much fuel are you using unnecessarily? What type of fuel mileage is my truck? Are our trucks getting? Different things we can do to uh, decrease our operating costs. I was reading where Knight Swift uh, lowered their operating costs from 98.6 to like 96.3 or something like that, and that's a huge jump. So companies are learning, they're bracing themselves up and they're learning how to survive uh, in the midst of what's getting ready to go. I tell anybody that's getting ready to get into the trucking industry, do not go out here and buy these expensive, nice looking Cadillacs and Lincolns in the trucking industry, which is the Peterbilts and the KWs. Okay. They're not meant to be fuel efficient. They look good going down the road, that old school, style. That looks good going down the road. But I'm talking about the older trucks. But how efficient are they? They're getting 5, 6, 6.5, 6.9 uh, miles to the gallon. And what good is that doing you when you look good going down the road, but you're getting broke in the same process because you're not getting the expected uh, fuel mileage that the next Joe is going to get. So I thought that was very interesting. And to back up the point, what I was saying about the trucking companies are closing their doors right and left and are going out of business. There was an interesting story about UPS. Okay. Let me see if I can find that story. It said UPS is getting ready to cut 20,000 jobs and they're going to close 73 buildings by late 2025. So again, United Parcel Service is expected to cut 20,000 jobs and close 73 buildings by the end of 2025, uh, in an attempt to become more nimble, or to streamline their operations or to trim the fat, so to speak. So UPS, they announced the layoffs on April the 29th. Um, and it said they one of the compelling reasons for the layoff is they plan to reduce its deliveries for Amazon. Uh, so Amazon accounted for like 11.8% of UPS's total overall revenue for 2024, and that's a significant number. So they're going to cut 20,000 jobs, close 73 buildings. And they think this will reduce their overall expense by 3.5 billion. Okay, so every company is sitting there trying to see where they can cut their operating costs. So as we get ready to start our carrier division, I'm keeping all of these things in mind so that we don't fall victim to what's going on right now in the industry. I'm trying to keep all these things in mind. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on out here um, in the industry right now with the tariffs, uh, seeing how that's going to impact us. And a lot of people are saying, man, the tariffs didn't impact us at all. And what they're not understanding is the tariffs went into an effect at a certain time period. There was a delay in when they actually were quoted and from the time they went into effect, which gave people a chance to stock up and have surplus goods. But now that those surplus goods are wearing thin and running down, what that means is that's when you're going to start feeling the effects of the actual effects of the tariffs themselves. Okay. So I think this is very interesting what's going on in the trucking industry. I have so many people that say now is the wrong time to get into the trucking industry. I highly disagree. I just think if you get into the trucking industry now, you have to more than ever be business minded. You must be good in math. Um, and you must sacrifice. Okay, you must sacrifice, but most of all, you have to be business minded in the way that things are coming out now. So I just wanted to share what was going on, what we're doing. Again, we're getting ready to do a lot of hiring as far as non-CDL drivers and CDL drivers. So anyone interested in applying is free to call the number here that you see listed, or you can send us your resume at dispatch at ellicklogistics.com. Again, that's dispatch at ellicklogistics.com. And we'll be more than happy to take a look at your resume and then get back with you. Anyone convicted of a felony uh, and that has paid their debt to society and has been longing to get into logistics, we have a plan for you. If you're interested in getting your CDL, if you want to start out driving non CDL freight, and then you're interested later on in getting your CDL, we can help you get your CDL. We are ELDT certified. That means we can help you get your CDL. Okay. All of these things are a part of what Ellick Logistics has to offer. So our agents are out here hitting the phones. You got Yves over there. He's getting our welcome packets and things like that together for our drivers that are onboarding with us. You have Mary over here. I don't know what Mary's doing. No, she's working on helping getting our trucking company and our carrier division up and running, guys. It's not as easy as it seems. Most people pay individuals to do everything. They just pay a company gets them their BOC3, a company gets them their 2290, another company takes care of the IFTA, they take care of their unified carrier agreement, and they get their insurance, and boom, they get their DOT and MC number, and they're off running. Well, we are a little different. We have a house full of staff, and we are determined to do things ourselves. So our situation is a lot different. And along with all our daily dispatching duties, dispatching drivers, code calling drivers, being dispatch support for other dispatchers that are out there that are affiliates and under us. So it's a lot that we do in a given day. And we're going to start sharing our daily routines with you to show you all we have to do, what dispatching is like, what owning a carrier company is all about, what that's like, the highs, the lows, and the headaches that you go through. Again, I just wanted to share that little bit about UPS and about where the market is right now. Again, if you're looking for a carrier that you can call home, feel free to call us at 754 946 5003. Again, that's 754-946-5003. Or you can go to our website, or you can email us at dispatch@ellicklogistics.com. You guys have a good rest of your day, okay? Bye.